in less than a month, I'm going to be a dad. Well, it depends if the baby's early or late, but let's just say 1 month, I'm going to be a dad. I'm shitting it a little bit. The freak out phase, the freak out stage. We had this antenatal Zoom call. We had a bunch of parents talking about what birthing is going to be like, and it kind of freaked me out. I'll be honest, whenever there's medical things on the TV, I have to walk away. I can't watch it. It's not like I'm going to pass out or anything, but I have to walk away from it. If you ask me what was in that antenatal call, I couldn't tell you. But last night, I woke up at 1 a.m. I'd only been asleep for, 3 hours. And suddenly that whole Zoom call runs through my head. Like, it's all in my head subconsciously, but consciously, I couldn't tell you what we said. I just realised that I am low-key panicking over the big change. And it doesn't matter how I try to rationalise it with myself. I'll say, it's not happening right now. There's no point in panicking. It's all expected. It's expected that giving birth is going to be a tough experience. I'm probably going to be tired. There's probably going to be stress. I'm probably going to not sleep very well for the next following weeks. And then it's like I say that, and it's like right now, we don't have to worry about that. But it doesn't stop me from worrying. That's not how my mind works. And I know that rationalizing things doesn't really work for me, but I try to. And I've been finding it tough. And I think it's probably only going to get worse until it actually happens. And then I'll probably just have to get used to it. It's kind of frustrating right now because I have so much that I want to get done in this last month before my son is born. It's like I want to sleep well so I can, perform my best. I don't want to be lying there at night ruminating and stressing, but I can't help it. I really can't help it. If you have recently gone through this, it'd be really interesting to hear your thoughts. How did you deal with it? And I know it's pretty normal for new parents to freak out a little bit. It's not like I'm even particularly worried about anything specific. It's just a general feeling. Like I'd be lying there and my stomach would drop, like this fear feeling. And I think, this is going to happen soon. And I can almost visualize being in like the hospital room and, seeing it happen. Like I keep visualizing it happen and like what I'm going to do and how I'm going to react. And I guess I'm just kind of wired that way. I'm always wired. I'm quite an anxious person, if I'm being honest. So it hasn't really affected me too much in recent years. I've been pretty good, but this in particular is kind of bringing back those old feelings. And yeah, I'm trying my best. I'm trying to focus on getting stuff done now and preparing, whether that's making videos for my main channel, whether that's making, adjustments for when the baby's going to be here. At some point, I've got to tidy up. Right now I'm in the midst of grinding, so I'm going to tidy up later. But, we've got the room prepared for the baby. We've got lots of things prepared. We've bought things. We've been putting money aside for, call it the Sun Fund, so that can be used to purchase things like nappies and formula if we need it or whatever, clothes. I'm preparing, but it doesn't stop me worrying. And I think that's where worry, it can help you because it makes you prepare. What is the crux of worry? It's to help you prepare for things. You think about potential outcomes and you prepare for them, but you can prepare almost too much to an extent. And I definitely have a problem with ruminating, all that nonsense. We don't need to get into that, but you might be the same, you might not be the same. That overthinking, I've got a propensity for that. And that's kind of what this channel's about. It's about talking about these things, and it's probably good to talk about how you're feeling and all that. And I'm hoping, my plan is that talking about this with you guys will help me deal with this. That's my hope, and that's why I like to make videos on this channel. I know I haven't been very consistent here because hand on my heart, I have been focusing on my main channel. I've got a lot of videos that I want to make for that, but I want to upload more here and share with you guys how I'm feeling and the journey of becoming a parent. And I'd like to actually document a lot of those early days and share them with you, because I think it's going to help me get through it. It's going to give me because I know what I'm like with lack of sleep. I know how crazy it can send me. So it'd be nice to have this little goal where I've got this little project. I can be like, I want to share this aspect of, being a new parent, this challenge that I'm facing. And I can almost turn it into this goal and I can focus on that to help get me through like these tough moments like lack of sleep or whatever. because it's a big challenge throughout my life, lack of sleep. If you're an old head of the channel, if you're new, sleep's bad, but if you're an old head of my main channel from like a year ago, I've talked about these things, and sleep is something in the history of my main channel. I've talked about it quite a lot. Those videos have not got many views, so I don't expect many of you to have seen them, but I've talked about my challenges with sleep a lot. I've talked about how I've tried to deal with it, and I'm very routine based. I'm a very, very routine based person, and having a baby kind of throws that all out to the, to the wind. Routine dead. But I want to instill routine. I want to try my best. I'm going to try my best for the health of me and my wife and the baby. We want to be working in as best a way as possible, and because that's going to help us care for the baby in the best way possible. If we're both walking around with lack of sleep, we're going to be screwed up. So the plan that I've had for about 7 months now, or maybe even from before we even started, it's been a long time we've had this plan. I've actually got a separate mattress. So this house, we're blessed at the minute to have this big tall house. So if my wife's asleep upstairs and I come up in the morning and I take the baby, go downstairs, she won't hear the baby crying. That's the theory. If the house is tall enough, that should be the case. So then she can get a good sleep, because I want to focus on both of us trying to get 8 hours sleep. Now, I don't get 8 hours sleep now, no matter how hard I try, but I want to try our best. Put in as much systems as possible to help us cope. As long as we're both sleeping, we're going to be doing shifts. So I have my allotted time to sleep, away from crying, away from whatever. Then I wake up, I come and take the baby. Then my wife has the allotted time to go to sleep. And hopefully that's going to get us through this. Because I think as long as we're both sleeping, everything else will be a lot easier. It'll be easier to deal with crying. It'll be easier to deal with nappies constantly and feeding, and trying to do work on top of that will be easier if we've slept. If we haven't slept, it's going to feel impossible. It's kind of a saying anyway for most things in life. Everything feels impossible after a bad night's sleep. But when you get a good sleep, everything starts to feel possible. And I want to make it more likely that we're going to get that good sleep. But that's kind of what I've been focused on this whole time. And eventually we'll go back to the same bedroom together. But I think for the start, it's in both of our interests that we sleep separately and we do shifts, so we get best chance of 8 hours sleep. That's what I'm gunning for. And then, when I'm up, I'll come up, deliver a bunch of drinks upstairs, isotonic drinks, maybe some snacks and stuff, because I know you're going to get dehydrated doing breastfeeding. So that's the plan. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys, because I do want to share this journey, like I've said already, so I don't need to go into that. I want to share this journey because I think it's going to help me along this journey too. So if you're here for it, here for watching me become a dad, then please press that subscribe button. If you want to hear about games, check out my main channel, particularly World of Warcraft, but I have other things in the pipeline, video essays that I've been working on. And this is something that I've done. I want to know if you think this sounds crazy or not. But my plan, because we've kind of been planning this for a while, I've actually made 2 hour-long video essays for my channel, one to go out on the birthday and one to go out a month after. And I'm hoping that gives me enough time, because I've been so hyper-focused on making YouTube videos. With these in the pipeline, I made months ago, I can actually give myself a break mentally. I know, literally, this is all just self-pressure, but mentally I can say, right, I'm going to take a step back from YouTube. I have content going out. I don't have to think about it. And that's my goal, because I want to do this long term. It's it is my passion, and I worry a lot about doing this and looking after a son at the same time. But I think if you want something hard enough, you'll find time to do it. And that I do want to desperately do this. So I love making videos. It's been anyway, we can talk about that further. If you want to hear about that further, everything I do behind the scenes, I'll make a video on that. That's what's going on for now, and nothing's really going to change for the next couple weeks, but we're starting to enter that zone where it could happen at any moment. It could be early, it could be late. I was 3 weeks early, which I only found out recently. My mum was 3 weeks early, but everyone on my wife's side was late, so We'll never know. Yet to be seen. Anyway, thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.